Hello, Libra, and welcome back to your extended. So, initially, here I'm noticing that, we finished off the first half of the reading with talking about this magician as you, as the magician that is trying to pull these other two individuals who seem to be at work. It's like they're at work, they're doing their duty, they're fulfilling their job, completing all of their tasks and doing it actually they're doing a very good job. The Knight of Pentacles always comes with a message of, even if the work is slow to progress, right? They're like slow to progress. They're doing it in such a way as to not make any mistakes. So they're doing a very good job at whatever they're doing. So there's almost on in their understanding, it's as if there's really nothing, there's no reason as to why they should leave their current position. There's no reason as to why they should leave their current position, because the position that they have, they're doing so well. And also, these both of these cards come with two different meanings. So this one here with the man has a more traditional approach. Definitely has a more traditional approach to things. Perhaps maybe they're one that follows the rules. Suddenly I'm seeing like corporations or things along those lines. So this one is perhaps maybe one that does everything by the book. They do things by the book. And I have a kitty in my lap, and so she's gone now. So perhaps they're one that does everything by the book. Very traditional, has things in order, and does things in a stepwise process. They have a routine, a protocol, if you will. This Knight, the other one, and this actually might be why this one you see to be progressing a little bit further, because this one has a more unconventional approach. They're actually a little bit more aligned with this energy here, this Ten of Cups. Just looking at that, because it's like this is more heart focused. I'm distinguishing the differences between these two. And it's because this one here, although they are traditional and doing everything that they're supposed to be doing in regards to someone else's expectations, it's less heart focused because of that. Because it's as if someone else set the rules and they're following. Whereas this one here, because they are a bit more heart focused, they tend to make up their own rules, perhaps ones that would help to benefit the many. I often see this Knight of Pentacles as kind of like a warrior for the people. So they shape and mold their environment to assist perhaps even those that are working in the environment with them. They tend to be a rule breaker and not in a way, it's like some might even perhaps maybe refer to this one as like a rebel with no cause, but there is a cause. The cause is for the stability for the entire team. They think about the entire team. And sometimes that approach needs to be different from the expectations of the one who is delivering the protocol. I hope that makes sense. So that's why there's kind of a difference between these two. So this one you actually might find would be perhaps maybe even a little bit easier to work with, because it's like their energy seems to match the underlining energy of your message a little bit closer. It's matching. It's resonating. It's resonating more with this one. But perhaps maybe their rebellious nature maybe tends to make them a little bit stubborn, and so they turn away. Because what I'm noticing here is actually that this knight here is following that one, and as you come through and deliver your message and this one turns in the other direction, this one is following. So this one seems to be the decision maker, the one who leads the team, and these are kind of like the others that follow by her example. So if you want your message to get across, Libra, appeal to this one. Appeal to this one, because you're trying to come in through really understated. She's very passionate about her people and doing what's best for her people. And so if you can kind of appeal to that nature, this dynamic here is going to have a lot more success. Because when you tug her through that portal, everyone else is gonna come with. Everyone else is coming with. It's almost like they're all chained. They're all chained together. Wow, that's really interesting. It's kind of giving me like a sense of they're all chained together. So it's like it's giving me like the idea of like working for corporate entities, corporate jobs as being a modern day form of slavery. So when you get this one and you pull them out, all of the other ones come with this one, because it's like they're the ones that follow her. And so it's like you're pulling them all out of their chains. And the one of the things that maybe might help to deliver your message or your message to have a more successful rate with this one is that kind of expressing that where they are currently is in this energy down here. It's like a small pond, and they're meant for something greater, for a bigger pond. This area up here is a bigger pond. This magician yesterday in the Scorpio reading was coming through, not Scorpio, in the Hughes was coming in as a fish. And so that's what this is referring to. It's like appealing to them in a way that is like, you don't really belong in a small, not necessarily that you don't belong in this field, just that you don't belong in this small pond, and this is a much bigger pond for you to actually grow in. There's an appeal. This one likes to grow things. These all do too, but they're Knight of Pentacles. They're growing things in this field. They like growth. It's like I'm telling you how to relay this conversation. They like growth. So appeal to that, and it'll be a lot easier for you to be able to pull them into the next phase. And so when you do, I believe you are successful in this. I believe you're successful because you're showing up here as the Page of Wands. Again, another page. It's kind of making me feel as though you actually might be younger. You might be younger than these two other individuals. Because you keep showing up as a page. And now this is you, instead of with that sword, this is you now with that wand. And again, you're kind of downplaying your energy a bit. Downplaying your energy just a bit to make yourself more suitable for them to allow you to be able to lead them in a new direction, on a new adventure. This Page of Wands always comes with the idea of embarking on a new adventure. And this page is generally they're at the starting point. So this page is matching. It's almost as if you go into this energy here, kind of like the excitement of the adventure, the excitement of moving into something new. They'll match your energy. And often what I see here with these two hands is looking into the distance and seeing how far into the distance you need to go in order to reach the destination. Or at least for you, it's coming up as the sea turtle. It's coming up as the rendezvous. The rendezvous point. So with this Page of Wands, we could literally be talking about you're on a hike. We could be talking about, it's kind of talking about coming around the corner, going back, realizing they're going the other way. It could be taken very literal, as if you're on a hike and you're needing to move forward. And these ones are being perhaps maybe a little stubborn, and you're trying to encourage them to follow your lead. Or we could be taking it more in a, like how I was saying before, like a more metaphysical route, whereas the looking into the distance and seeing how far away the rendezvous point is more of a psychic or divination practice, especially because we were talking about that metaphysicalness. Something like that. Psychic or divination practice where you would be able to see like the next thing, the next place, it's as if you've already received that vision, right? Because you came in with the Page of Swords. there was an energy that was delivering a message from spirit and into the water, into your psyche, and coming up as the sword energy. So it could even be like you have a vision of where you need to go. And there's something about these two energies that it's like even you are at the beginning stages of this, and you need their participation or their presence in order to move forward along this new path. And they're showing up here as this as this King of Pentacles. I believe that the King of Pentacles is representing these two knights as a group. This is like the face of their group. Very wise, mature, incredibly stable. Maybe perhaps one that doesn't necessarily move very often. They have a stability in them that it's like a firm foundation. And so it would take it would take a lot of energy to be able to get this one to move. Get this group to move. You know, if you have a lot of people, I don't know why I'm thinking of what is that? Apparating? Like where if you were to hold a bunch of people and then jump like into another world or another timeline or something like that, it's like the amount of people that you're trying to take over, it's like the weight of them is heavy. So as a group, there needs to be a little bit of shedding, actually, as a group. It's very interesting because you would normally think of shedding all of those things, trying to get through the eye of the needle type of idea as a very individualized focus, but this is coming through as a group. So this group needs to go through a little bit of shedding, especially with this Seven of Pentacles. It's like you're trying to transplant the entire group into a new place. And in order to do that, they need to shed away. It has to do with their idea of work or career or something that would provide stability in their lives. Because this is Seven Pentacles and he's holding the one pentacle. There's something in that, the investment in that particular industry that needs to be shed away. And that's actually what's acting here as kind of like that shielding the ace. So they're in a sense, the trickiness here is to it's almost like you're trying to relay to them that the investment that they've made in this industry that they're currently in, like that needs to be shed away. That's really big. That's really big. It's a really big ask of them to do. But this message is incredibly important, and it's why you need to deliver it. It's why you're coming in softly. If there is a little kick up of passion, you're trying to pull them through. And then now you're kind of telling them that all of the work that they've put into this industry actually needs to be shed away in order to move into this new space as a group. So that then, brings another level of complexity because, in a group there's many different opinions about what needs to be let go of and what needs to be held on to. But it does seem like whoever this one is here, it's like they essentially have the final call. And then, of course, the rest of the group follows. And one of the biggest aspects that you're asking for them to reconsider or to let go of or to define in a different way is this 10 of Cups. And this is very different. It's very different. Well, it's not very different. It's not very different. That's the thing. It's actually not very different. They're both the same energies, just expressed differently. Just like this. Both very similar energies, just expressed differently. And it's like that's what you're trying to show them, that this is the same thing. It's just better. And it's just expressed differently. It's like once they get out of this small pond down here and into this big pond, they'll see that it's the same. But they haven't yet made that jump, right? So there's a lot of hesitancy. This is a hesitancy, not really knowing if you want to just keep it or scrap it, or like what exactly do we need to do to transport this. And so one of the things that you're asking for them to shed the idea of, or the feeling of, shed the feeling, is a more traditional role of what happiness, and especially in this reading, like success in relationships. We have this entire group. So this is coming through as something that is very traditional. It kind of goes along the lines with perhaps what society would deem as a good life, normal, with the talk of career and all of that. That might look like picking an industry, staying in that industry for your entire life, perhaps never really having any change. Because that's what provides stability, comfort, the a good home life, being able to provide and produce for the entire group. This, of course, could be a family. It's coming through as like a work family, like a workplace for the entire team. And moving this entire team to another location it's like you're letting go, you're asking them to let go of their home, like their work home, although they can hear and perhaps even maybe be able to feel that where you're taking them would be it's a new place. It's a new place that's it's gorgeous. Actually, it's very gorgeous. It's really lovely. It is just as stunning as this, but there's something in this new place that is more resonant. That's the thing. It's got to be framed as this is actually more resonant to the emotional fulfillment of the entire group. Right? And because this one here is they keep the group in mind. They're the ones that consider the entire group from every angle. And so it's like appealing to that nature of that this would be more resonant for the entire group, and it's going to act in a way that would increase their growth. That might help their process in the shedding of in the shedding of a traditional way of making your living. And at least in this day and age where I'm located, a traditional way of making your living would be like working for a company, kind of following all of their rules, their expectations, having them determine the steps, what protocol to use, all of that stuff. It's coming through as like a very corporate lifestyle. That's appearing as the traditional way of making a living. And of course, if you're making your living in that way, you would probably also have a emotional life in a more traditional way as well, because there's a bleed through. It's like that energy would bleed through your entire life. But this is what you're encouraging, Libra, is something different. It's very similar, but different. It's different. And so all of that, it's almost like it seems to me like there might be perhaps a timing, because there's a rendezvous point. So if there's a rendezvous point, that means that the sea turtle here is coming to pick everyone up. It's like that's that energy that's coming through that portal. It's coming to pick everyone up. And so you're trying to get them to go with you so that you all can meet this rendezvous point. The sea turtle always comes up as a spiritual vehicle. It takes you through the water realm. It takes you through perhaps even maybe your psyche. But it's going to pick everyone up and move them into a different location or a different psyche. The sea turtle, he carries the entire land mass on his back. And so if the sea turtle was to come and pick up this entire group and then transport them to a new location, it would be coming through as a new psyche, or a new mind, a new sense of what this emotional fulfillment is for the entire group. And so it's almost like there seems to be a timing to it, because wherever you're trying to get them, it's like they need to all be there at a specific time so they can be picked up at this rendezvous point. And I'm sensing here at the very end that it's this Empress here who has actually sent in this sea turtle to come and pick everyone up. It's like the new, oh, that's very interesting. It's coming through as the new mother. The new mother. That's interesting. It's a nice little add-on at the end. All right, Libra, I'm going to let it go there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your energies, and I, of course, will see you next time. If you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can find the information for booking in the description box below. And you can also check out the website and see all of the other things that are in there. And I will see you next time. Bye.